Hello. Mac, Day,
The
Willow.
boldly dev, where no dev has dev'd before.
Mac again. Welcome in. Hope you are all doing well. We are back on the Leon Tongue area business here. Abram, welcome in. Mac, thank you for the streak. Okay. We have much to do here. I need to break it down into smaller pieces, I think, because this is like such a thing that I need to figure out here. We'll need to mess with the partner base code at some point, but not for a while. Same for player code. Probably not necessary. It's mostly going to be this file right here, where we've got the code for how Leon's Tongue works today. I kind of want to figure out what is screwing it up as it currently stands. Because right now, when Leon loads in initially, something is very wrong with, I don't know, something in the variables is wrong, and I don't know what. But he's tongue-tied. I have considered that as one of the potential names of his attacks. It's tongue-tied or tongue twister. So right now, for some reason, when this map, not other maps, but this map, when it loads, Leon's tongue immediately goes full and then animates normally after that. And that's not supposed to happen. So if we look at this information here, let me just grab that, paste that into Paint. We're gonna do the crummiest comparison possible here. So now if I swap partner, swap back, now he's normal again. So now let's go over to this and see if anything is obviously different here. I mean, obviously state timer is not going to line up. The nullables are null. The non-nullables are non-null. All of those look good. And nothing down here should be related, I wouldn't think. But I guess who knows? Interact objects. I guess we can grab everything from is facing right and see if anything in that is different. But I wouldn't expect that to be the case. All right, reload the scene. Loading. Instant again. Oh, okay, we're good. Okay, starting with is facing right. Grab all this stuff. Compare it in this hacky manner. That looks fine. Looks fine. Okay. Huh. Current tongue state, 0. We're ready. Okay, makes sense. Okay. So when I press the button to use partner ability, the main thing that does is turns is tongue active to true. And also sets the state to opening mouth. Once state timer gets over 0.4, we begin playing tongue animation. And that's where I feel like something is going wrong. I don't know. Animation has extend as the animation method. It begins at 0. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Willow? Something begins at 0. Tongue state begins extending. So let's go into slow-mo here. And look at the Leon current tongue state. See what happens to it. Okay, I don't know if it's just going too fast. Pause. Current tongue state is 0. But his mouth is opening, right? Shouldn't opening mouth be the current state then? Isn't that... Alright, alright. Alright, you. Stop. Stop. We gotta wait for it to load. Okay, go back to. Actually, here's what we'll do. I've got a little debug line I can do. Scene manager dot metrics. Current tongue state. There we go. Because maybe the remote view is just not very accurate for this kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, so go in slow motion. 1, 3, 4, 0. 1, 3. So it's skipping extending entirely for some reason. Well, no, hang on. It's because of this, isn't it? Because if we set state timer to 0, and then it should fall into this block where state timer is 0, so we go into this one. Tongue solidity dot is on wall must be hitting true, because it's immediately jumping to retracting, which is 3. Why is tongue solidity hitting a wall? That seems silly. But okay. If I do this, though, does that fix it? We're gonna find out. No. Does it even fix it for a frame? 1, 3. Just 1 straight to 3, huh? Pop. So we never spend even a single frame in state 2. Like it hits it here, I assume. But then immediately we start retracting. I wanna understand why this is working this way, because we're about to start changing things. I need to understand how it's currently working. Okay, let's try this. All right. Run it in slow-mo. Hit. Yeah. Hit. So it's immediately saying that it's hitting a wall somehow. Where is the tongue solidity? It's the hitbox. Leon tongue, hitbox, character, body, 3D. Leon tongue, hitbox, character, body, 3D. Which is this little collision shape right here, which is this little mesh right here. Oh, that would hit the, well, no, would it hit the ground? Would it hit the ground? That's probably what's happening. We're probably getting rid of the collision box and just rewriting this whole thing, but I do want to understand why this is the way it is. Where is it? Where's your collision box, buddy? I can't help but notice. Where are you hiding your collision box? Where is it? Where did you put it? Is it stuck somewhere? Okay. Oh, it's back. And now it's fixed. Okay, we're getting somewhere. When he initially loads, he's getting positioned somewhere. Let me try pushing him off the edge here. Oh, there it is. I see it. I see your tongue. Yep, there's your tongue. Okay. Yeah, your tongue is under the ground, and now it's back. His tongue is literally getting stuck under the ground. That's very funny to me, but okay. Great. It's Hollow Knight. When are you playing Hollow Knight? Okay, Leon tongue, we're getting rid of the character body. I assume. Probably. We'll see. We can make it so that the tongue is only really... but what if there's a... Do we do a raycast to see if we can hit? It is not. Hollow Knight is a different character. That's John Silksong. Okay, we're likely going to go with... like give it some like really make that animation play fast. Okay, so let's figure out. We're gonna gut everything. Redo entire tongue script. Just get it over with. It needs to be redone for what we're doing. Yeah, I think that's all there is to it. Is there a better way? Not that I can think of. So currently the tongue has an extend animation that can play forward or backwards. The tricky thing is that there's like is stopping it at a specific point in time is really tricky. I wonder if it would make more sense to make this animation a 1 second animation, but the animation speed is something that we could even seek into it with a tween if we wanted to. That might be the way. Okay, so that should just play, and we can seek on a ratio of 0 to 1. And that's a distance of 4, apparently. Okay. Close a lot of these extra things that I'm not working on. We're not working on battle. We do need this one eventually, but not right now. We're going to work on this little test area instead. Okay, okay. All right, let's just delete it all and get it over with. Oh, yeah, yeah. All this code is great and all, but it's wrong now. Make sure that none of this is being used elsewhere, that we're not referencing this code somewhere. No, tongue state is fine. Tongue state is only here. Tongue states seemed like a fine idea at the time, right? Doing these different state values and basically treating it as a state machine. You're in this state and then individually handling the cases associated with that state. And then go with everything else, but opening mouth still could be something. I don't know. Okay, so I think I want to snap Leon into position. I guess we can keep the state stuff. That at least is workable. We're gonna get rid of the tongue solidity stuff. We are gonna follow the player. Use partner ability is going to pick a target area and a tongue target object. And it's going to tween Leon towards it, facing it. Let's see here. Opening mouth time is going to be, we're going to start with 0.4 because I can replace a few magic numbers around here. You, not you, you, and you. Okay, that helps clear things up a little bit. And that also means that we can actually make that quicker. Animation speed. Because this is going to play the animation of opening the mouth, right? Which that happens here. No, it doesn't. That's a different animation. When we're opening the mouth, we also have to play an animation. Where is that? Tongue handler. When does Leon has an animation for open mouth. When do we call that? There, right there. Okay, so this is the animation player. So we want to make sure his mouth opens fast enough. Speed scale. That animation for open mouth is 0.4 seconds. So I want it to be the speed scale to be this opening mouth time, like 0.4 divided by that. So if it's 0.2, Oh, I want to invert. I want to invert that. And then when open mouth is done, revert it to speed scale 1.0. Okay, so that allows us now to speed up the open mouth time. Great. Probably good. Let's make it a little snappier. Yeah, yep, that is snappier. But that tongue animation, obviously not even getting through the whole thing anymore because it's just not going to. Okay, great. We're not going to do this business about colliding, like this on-tongue touch business. Is that, what is that coming from? On-tongue touch. There we go. We're doing a connect here. We don't need that. We're not going to mess with this. So all this tongue touch business, all of that is gone for now. Maybe that'll come back, some of it, but we'll see. Oh, geez. I just got rid of a lot more of that than I expected. Okay, from here to here. Yes, but not this stuff. This stuff is still necessary. What are we missing? Original held item parent. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Held item. We're getting rid of that. We're getting rid of that. We're gonna get rid of that. Yep. That's gonna have a new and improved version. Okay, looks great. I can delete this code. I've got it in source control. I need to not just leave it there commented while I'm working on it. I can safely get rid of it. We're going to trash it. Okay. Tongue extend. All right. So here's where I want to do a raycast and see where I hit on solid terrain from the position of the player's head, I guess. How do we do a raycast in Godot? Raycast 3D. Do I have any examples of using raycast in my code anywhere? No. I probably did do some in some of the learning projects we did, but nothing in this. Let's see. Is there a good... Here we go. Raycast introduction. Great. Cool. I want a 3D raycast, please. Come on, 3D raycast script. This looks promising. Godot raycast done. Oh, Manny. Just import raycast. Physics ray query parameter 3. Oh boy. I vaguely remember doing raycast, and I do remember it being a little bit of an event. Okay, so what we'll do is when you use the ability, we need to determine what you're targeting, 1, and 2, what you're actually going to hit. Like what we're actually going to move the tongue towards. And we need to move it fast, because if things are moving around, we want to kind of blur it a little bit so you don't... how to describe this. I want for whatever it says you're gonna hit to be what you actually hit, even if it's moving around a little bit. Yeah, usually origin and direction. I remember getting the details of like the point of collision. Like the object it returns is extensive. So I think, yeah, this is tween angle is fine. And then we want to know what we are about to target. Or what we are currently targeting. Okay, tongue target is a node, right? Yeah, it's a node 3D. Everything okay? You need a fresh water? All right. I'll get it for you. I'll be right back, and we will continue this discussion of tongue. It has to be very fast. So I tested that to see what that looks like. This is an example of, with the big Dobbs logo. So it would go like, boom, whoa, boom, wah. The sound effect is actually not happening from the computer. Yeah, believe it or not, that's actually me making that noise with my throat. Boom.
It was so computer-like.
It was very computer-like. Get ready to count it down. Here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. We're doing it. This is such a beautiful rocket. It's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I can see a lot better from this one. Oh, wow.
You really said a lot like an hang.
Oh, the cloud barrier. There's our target over there. No, we're going the wrong way. Wow, you can really see the factory from up here. This time, oh boy. Oh, but so the suggestion thing, the level idea thing. All it does is it grabs a random item from each list. In some cases, it grabs like multiple items, or it randomly decides that it doesn't want any items from a list. All right, so... Oh, wow! I feel like... We're back. We're so back. So anyway, what we are doing... The general idea, and I've already had a version of this in place, and that is that this little guy here, this little friendly fellow, when you press the partner action button, he does a little tongue hook shot, effectively. I've screwed up the range of it and everything, but we're gonna change it significantly, make it nice and snappy. So part of it is the player has 2 cones acting as area 3Ds. Extending out from either side of the character, kind of angled slightly upward. And that is detecting a target. So even if you have multiple valid targets in the cone, whatever the first to enter the cone is remains the target until it leaves the cone. And we're just doing some signals for managing that. So what's going to be silly is what if, because this is a dumb thing that can happen in video games, is what if while this is going on, there's also a moving wall? You know, that's like this. Great. You know, like it pokes out and pokes back in. And now we have this issue of, well, it's still technically in the area 3D, but it's not actually reachable. I can't actually reach that. The tongue should not be allowed to go through that. And so what I would like to do is draw a raycast and detect, oh, boom, right there, we hit a solid and say, okay, that is actually where we need to draw the tongue towards, not here, because it's not going to make it. It's targeting here, but we need to intercept it and stop it and say, nope, you timed it wrong. This attempt failed. Don't place a wall there. Brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? Hey, thank you for the follow. All follows are not. Oh, and I missed a follow while I stepped away. Thank you both for the follow. Oh yeah. Okay, so the raid over yesterday to Fui was recommended by Epic Photon, who is another dev that I hang out. So context here. Photon is extremely chill. He is this he's very steady voiced. He's just kind of discussing the ideas, explaining what he's doing along the way. And so he recommends someone when we're looking for a raid target last night. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be something kind of like Photon, some chill streamer who's gonna show us some cool stuff in Godot or something. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I trust Photon implicitly. Yeah, Photon says that they're a good streamer. Yeah, let's go over there. That's not what I was ready for. I am also I'm gonna say fairly low energy streamer. This is more of a co-working thing. I'm not gonna dance around for your amusement. I mean, I might dance around for your amusement. I have occasionally danced around for your amusement. But that's like a weird thing. And so we get into Fui's stream and it's immediate chaos. And I'm like, uh-oh, I feel like I've just walked into like a really loud cool people's party. And I'm not the type that hangs out at really loud cool people's parties. Yeah, that's how you got to Fui's stream. And honestly, the initial 3 minutes was merely a taste of the chaos. I'd say Dupu is probably the wackiest streamer we regularly hang with. I would argue that. Like there's a wacky scale. There's like very dry to wacky. That's, I mean, to an extent. I mean, I guess it was an open invitation. Like the door was open, but I was expecting like board games to be going on in that room. And there was a full-on dance floor and quirky people were doing the chicken dance. And I was like, oh, I want to go back to my place and paint figurines. I don't know. This is really dumb. On the internet, social anxiety stuff should not be a thing. Like, I'm in my house. I'm in my house. I should not be like, yeah, it finds a way. But yeah, I want to hang out more, but I need to be prepared. It's that kind of thing. I don't know why. It's like I've had like big raids come in where I'm the one kind of on stage in front of like hundreds, or in some cases, I don't know if we ever actually hit 1,000, but like a lot of people, and I do okay with that. Like it's kind of like a hee hee, hello everyone, hi, but I'm not like freaking out. But when I go into a stream with like 40 people, I'm like, oh gosh, it's really crowded in here. Anyway, we're all on Twitch right now watching a guy program a chameleon tongue for a Paper Mario tribute video game. We're all a little bit of an awkward group, so we can get that out of the way. We all have that common ground here. But yes, it was fun, but it's the sort of thing that I've gotta be ready for. Haven't played any Mario game. Not Hovercat. Hello, MD. Your text substitution is very difficult to read, FYI. Paper Mario is it's basically just an RPG, but there's a few things that characterize it and make it something that I am very interested in. Specifically, low damage numbers and a very good, lighthearted sense of humor. I don't know who that is. This is like the 4th stream in a row where someone said, "You remind me of X," and I'm like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what information to take from that. I mean, I'm just gonna assume it's a really, really good thing. It's like the pinnacle of things to aspire to. Actually, I think yesterday's stream, I mean, I could... Thank you, Mac. Never mind. Probably a bad guy. Probably a real bad egg. Not like us good eggs over here. Okay. So we're going to set up... What's this old collision mask business? What is this old collision mask business? What did we use that for? Collision mask. Collision mask of the partner. Gets set to 1 temporarily. That's weird, but okay. Jim Parsons. Not to be confused with Jack Parsons. Ah, from the old rhyme, Jack and Jim went up the hymn to fetch a pail of water. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Close enough. It'll work. That'll work. All right, let's clear out this zombie code. We don't need it. I mean, we will need it, but we can pull it from the source repo when we do need it, so it works out just fine. I'm gonna leave this like, I don't know, this is like poetry right here. I went on a rant about how backwards ternaries in Godot feel. Cultist to die. That's the one.
How do 2 people here know who
That is weird. That is weird.
If you look at his picture, it's not like it's like,
But no, it turned out that the guy who originally said that was like, oh wait, sorry, I meant Jim Parsons.
yeah, that's what
Okay, yeah. Would you believe I've never seen Big Bang Theory? From what I've heard about it, I'm sure I would hate it. I'd be insulting? Okay. Probably. I mean, okay, so the argument I've heard is like, oh, well, if you're not very good with computers or nerd stuff, yeah, Big Bang Theory is great, but if you are, like, into that kind of thing, what you should really watch is Silicon Valley, and I tried watching Silicon Valley, and I hated it. Yeah. And it's not like okay, so a lot of the characters are unlikable, and like these are bad people. But sometimes shows that are just about bad people are kind of fun. Like Arrested Development was just a bunch of like really bad people having a bad time, but it was really well done and fun. At least the first 3 seasons, except for the last episode of the 3rd season, because it felt like they were really rushing to like tie up all the loose ends. Like, all right, we're not getting renewed. Throw out all the plot. Done. All right. Tongue animation. The tongue animation plays for 1 second. So we're gonna add opening mouth time, tongue extend max time. Should be 0.65, it looks like, was the original. No, it was actually 0.5. Because we need some margin. That's true. There's not a lot of TV shows I liked. I liked Firefly. I liked Good Place. Huh? Community. Yeah, those were good. Those were good shows. And they were very different. Arrested Development was fine. We didn't make it all the way through. Yeah. Firefly appealed to a very different part of my brain than the other shows did. Like there was something about like, this is an interesting world. I want to watch more stories about this world. This is cool. I love this. It's like, all right, there's something going on there. Really cool. And then, you know, Community is just like, this is just pure zaniness that is really good at identifying and subverting common tropes in sitcoms. Like really calling them out in a smart way. It's like a TV show for people who maybe think too much about TV shows. Let's go with that. But I understand enough of the language. I think there should be another state for like a pause for when it finishes extending. Taskmaster, that's not even like a plot, that's a game show. Well, it's a panel show, but yeah. I mean, I guess you could argue Whose Line is another panel show. Yeah. It's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I like it. Yeah. All right. So we're going to play this we're going to aim for 0.6 or 0.5. So we're going to take this. Wait, do you not know what type you are? You don't. You're an animation player, buddy. And your speed is going to be 0.5, no. It's going to be, 0.5 divided by the max time, whatever we set that to. We're going to get rid of this, I think, for now. I think this works. Favorite video game right now? I'm really into Silk Song. Okay, that was not right. Yeah, that's... What is going on there? Set it changes to retracting when state timer exceeds that. Speed scale equals. Oh no, it should just be this. No, it should be 1 over that. Oh yeah, thanks. I've got a demo if you ever want to try it out. That's like 2 hours long. 4 if you're streaming and talking to chat a lot. But if you like Thousand Year Door, I think it's a good, solid tribute to it. This is okay. We got this much at least. We're adding in our new state. Pause. Pause time. We're gonna say 0.15. Don't do this. When you do this, never mind. That's fine. That's fine too. I mean, that's gonna be all kinds of thrown into chaos. Nice, cool. State timer is greater than or equal to pause timer, which it is. Then play, extend, and change it to retracting. There we go. Tongue retract time is... Oh, this one's going to be weird. Because I want it to be really snappy. You know? So let's temporarily set that to 0.3 while we're making our rewrite here. So the play time, the speed scale for this, needs to be our retract time. There. Inverse of retract time, because it's a 1 second long animation. We're going to speed it up based on the retract time. Cool. How's that looking? There you go. Great. I want him to stand back up quicker, and also he's not returning to his idle animation. He's like stuck in his whatever animation when he does that. All right, cool. So that's now controllable by a variable here. This is going to be like our control system while we're tweaking the values. So we can just kind of like change these slightly, and we don't have to update any of the code when we change these because everything's going to work appropriately. That's just for getting the timing to make it feel really satisfying to make it work. So the initial set is we're just getting this straight line tongue, but we're going to work towards this aerial stuff, which is gonna get weird. Okay. Great. Tongue retract time, closing mouth. Need a close mouth timer. Close mouth time. Let's say 0.1 second even. Opening mouth time is how we adjusted this speed scale. If we are closing mouth, so play backwards. Opening mouth time becomes close mouth time. Play it backwards. And then once we hit close mouth time, then we can change this speed scale back to 1.0. And then we're supposed to cue the idle animation, but it doesn't seem to be happening. I don't get it. That's fine. That works. All right, let's speed up his. Let's speed up the extend time pretty substantially. Let's half it. Let's make him just really. All good. That's pretty snappy. Very turtle-looking robot. Is he not turtly enough? Okay, that's all right. It's a lot snappier now, which is good. And then if the camera pivots, as it does in this temporary area, then yeah, it goes out like that. Yeah, the robot's kind of hanging out nearby. Welcome in, Fox. Yeah, he's, the idea is we're gonna be able to attach to that and then do, if you ever played Mario Galaxy 2, thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. There was this thing that you got with Yoshi where you could kind of grapple onto certain things, and then there'd be this really cool little, like, you'd zip to it and then carry a little bit of momentum. It wasn't really your momentum. You couldn't, like, build up speed by chaining them together. But it was fun. It was fun. And we're going to kind of grab a little bit of that same idea here. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Okay. So far, we've got the old method working vaguely again. We don't have it actually pulling the player, but that's okay. Next thing we need to add, we have the tongue target, which is the thing we are actually aiming for. But we're going to change it a bit. Instead of actually aiming for the object, we are going to do a tween can stay. We're going to do a check to see what we're actually going to hit. So we have our angle. So we have our, from that we can determine kind of our vector. And it's going to be different depending on if we're actually aiming up at something or not. We're going to do a raycast from the player to the target, or if not the target, then just the general area forward. And we're going to detect when we hit a solid. If we're close enough to the target, we're just going to attach to the target. If not, we're going to stop the tongue, and maybe some little sound effect plays to let you know, like, you hit a wall, that one didn't count, try again with better timing or something. Okay, got it, that's the plan. So we need, actual tongue termination point. Node 3, nope. Vector 3D. Now, is this going to be a... Oh, I guess it has to be a Vector 3. All right, it can be a Vector 3, but we're gonna override it, like, right away. Wait, what do you not like? Oh, Vector 3D. No, Vector 3. Haha. Okay. So now... Oh yeah, you do have to include a non-null value. It doesn't matter. All right. So now we need to calculate this actual termination point. Where is the tongue going to hit? We would like it to hit the target. It might not hit the target. So let's go with... This is where the raycast comes into play. And then we also need to give it a ratio. Provide a ratio of how far does the tongue go before it gets stopped. So let's see here. Tongue termination ratio. For now, let's just say randef. And then what we'll do here is when we are extending, instead of looking for the max time, we will look for the max time multiplied by our tongue termination ratio. And that's when we will pause. So it's going to go some random length, stop, and then retract. Oh, but that means that the retracting time also needs to be scaled back, doesn't it? Sure does. Right. So that'll be if we hit a wall. All right, cool. That seems fine. That seems fine. Now we need to actually calculate it, though. Which means let's throw a wall in here. That we can actually detect against. That looks good to me. All right, here we go. Raycasting. Ugh, how? Raycast query. Physics ray query parameters. Space state intersect. All right, this is for 2D, but I think this might still work. We're gonna find out. Get world 3D. Seems fine. Create 3D with vector 3. Vector 3. Okay, so this needs to be the player's position. Player actor dot. Let's go global position. And then the target. Ugh. The target is, for now, let's just say vector 3 dot right times 4. I don't know if that matters. And then print result. So we can see what that gives us. What information does that give us? All right, pull it up so we can see. All right, so this is solid. Yes. All right, boom. All right. We got a position, 4.3. We got nothing. Why did we get nothing for that one? Okay, this is 4.3 again. That's good. If I go over here, then yeah, I get nothing if there is nothing intersected. I get an empty object. Otherwise, I get an object with a position, the normal, nice, face index, the actual collider ID, shape, and RID. Okay, so what we're after is the position object. That's pretty good, I'd say. Result.position, if result, result.position. All right. If we get a result, grab result.position and assume that is a global value. Otherwise, set this equal to vector 3.0 and hope that it's never actually vector 3.0, right? Can we have a vector 3.null? Can we have a nullable vector 3? I don't know, it's fine. Okay. So now we can calculate our tongue termination ratio. I guess we didn't really need to store this anywhere. That's not necessary. That's not necessary. So what I need now is the distance from global position, and we want to compare that against the length of the tongue normally, which is 4.0. Additionally, we're going to need the actual bearings of the tongue here, because this is not actually what we're aiming for. How are we going to get that? Okay, that's to be determined. We can get rid of this. Default tongue termination ratio is 1.0. If we have a result, then we're actually hitting something, and it's just distance from global position divided by 4. So take our player actor global position, subtract, or no, distance 2. Distance 2, isn't it? Distance 2, maybe I should do this. Distance 2? Is distance 2 not... Don't you realize that this is a vector 3? Now do you give me distance 2? It is distance 2, okay. I was worried about nothing. Take the distance, divide it by 4.0, and clamp it between 0 and 1.0 for the ratio. All right, so now, as long as we are facing right, it should accurately end the animation early if there's a wall in the way. Ooh. I wonder if this is because it is a... yeah, cubic interpolation. If I change this to linear... No, it still seems like... Well, that looked okay. That looks fine. But when it's very, very close, it's much less fine. This, I feel like we should be getting pretty much 0. How are we getting a ratio so high? We're getting 7%. 7% of this. There's no way. Well, that looks longer than 7% of that anyway, so that calls a lot of things into question. But yeah, it should be, I guess, starting like a half unit to the right of the players facing. Tongue start point. Plus vector 3 dot right times 0.5, maybe. And also up 0.5 because why not? Now this does not actually work because this needs to account for the camera angle, which it currently does not. And then we'll do tongue in point, tongue max point, let's say, is tongue start point plus vector 3, 4.5, 0.0, 0.0. That will simplify this a little bit. Okay, so now, looks great. Still, no problems there. 0.25. 0.27. Basically the same. Ow. Ow. Wait. The pause is still supposed to happen, right? Pause time is still supposed to happen. Let's increase that to like a full second. Just to slow things down, let us actually see what's going on here. That's the wrong scene to load. Okay, but here... Well, now I'm not getting an intercept. And that is good, because that means we might have found the problem, or at least part of the problem. It seems that somehow pause timer is not stopping the it's not stopping the animation. Pause timer does not stop the animation. When we pause, we should freeze that speed scale for the duration of the pause. Not perfect, but understandable. Okay. That's still something for us. I guess what we want to do is subtract a little bit if there is a hit from that distance. So instead of taking the distance, let's say wall distance equals this mess right here. Simplify that. Let's take wall distance and subtract out 1/4 of a meter. Yeah, tongue can clip a little bit if you're up against the wall, and I think I'm okay with that. All right, let's go shorter. That looks all right. So if there is a wall, it will... Okay, that's too much. It will stop the animation a little bit early. It sometimes can face the wrong direction, and that's weird to me. I don't quite get why that still happens. That shouldn't be possible, but... Yeah, right here, he should face the correct direction. No matter what. You shouldn't get a say in it. We could copy this in right here. Maybe there. Just so while he's opening his mouth, he keeps trying to position himself correctly. Is that another stink bug? Guess it's that time. It's that time of year. Time for stink bugs. Okay, great. Okay, next thing to do. Let's make this a 90-degree rotation. So it can really go silly on us. We need to account for a few things. Imp! Welcome in! Thanks for the raid. How was the rando tonight? Oh, my fingers. I'm like half cold, half warm. I'm in a really awkward position here. Where's the front of this sweater? Is this inside out. I like this sweater. Very warm. But sometimes too warm. We're making a real mess of our code base, Imp. Never to be seen again. Perfect. The ashes exhumed, moved into a rocket, and blasted into the sun. Okay, we need to get the actual target position of the tongue. What is that based on? Camera target position? Camera target rotation? I guess it's the camera's target rotation. So we need scene manager, metrics log, camera handler dot camera dot magic, camera dot transitions dot rotation dot current. I think. Let's try this. Sometimes you gotta have a bad seed, and that's just the way of things. 1.5, 1.0. Wait, I don't want current. I want target. Hi, Bear. It's going quite all right. How about yourself? There we go. The actual target is what we want there. Okay. I feel like that should be a function in the camera handler. Get target rotation. Return that. That's much simpler. That should really be something that camera handler manages, not us. Watch some game dev before you do the game dev. I really think there should be more classic Paper Mario games, and so I'm making another. I'm going for something in the style of Thousand Year Door / Bug Fables, where you play as a little robot with all kinds of little animal buddies, and the writing is really good. I am tooting my own horn. One of the big things of Thousand Year Door was a very distinct writing style for all the characters. And it just makes the game very memorable. And I think there should be more of that. And so I'm throwing my hat in the ring. And I feel good about it. The combat of the genre is something that's not seen a lot in RPGs, which is very small damage numbers. Paper Mario as a series came out of the N64 era, and a lot of the RPGs from the previous generation, like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 2 and 3, even Super Mario RPG, had fairly large damage numbers, which allowed for modifiers to make a difference. Even small changes could be seen. But with like Final Fantasy VII, you see attacks that are dealing like 9,999 damage, and it's like, well, was that a lot of damage? It's all right. Well, then I can't keep these numbers in my head. But then Paper Mario came around, and the final boss has like 100 health. your damage when you start the game is around 2, and you have 10 HP, the average Chapter 1 enemy has 2 to 3 HP, you could very easily know in your head, okay, that enemy's going to be taken out this round. This guy could get 1 damage on me unless I can time the block well, but I'm not confident that I can time that one. Maybe I should instead target him with both of my guys, and that way I can deal with just the easy enemy that I can block a lot easier because I know the timing more. I think that is such a great system that you can actually know how much damage to expect that you are going to deal each round and be able to plan multiple rounds in advance versus the SNES RPGs of that era leading up to the N64 where it was, how much damage do you do against this enemy? Like, there's like 3, sometimes 4 digits. How much health do they have? How would I know? See, there's a problem there. You can't really plan. You just have to, you just get a vague ideas like, I think he might be almost dead. I don't know. Early Paper Marios did such a good job of making the combat fairly transparent and having just a fun system with lots of different axes to play in, and then they kind of went off the rails, starting with Super Paper Mario and Sticker Star and Color Splash and even Origami King, which I had such high hopes for, but it's fine. It's fine. So we're playing on like a 7 or 8 chapter game here. Chapter 1 is complete. Chapter 2 is underway. I'm redoing from scratch the field move for the Chapter 2 partner, Leon, who is a chameleon. All right, so we can get the camera rotation. Move this down to here. Rotation, tongue start point. Add to it this dot rotated around vector 3 dot up by the camera rotation. Do the same thing for this right here. I think that's right. I may have to add a negative to that. Yeah, I need to try and update to 4.4 at some point. The problem is really going to be that there's some goofy stuff that is going on with my game when I try to update it to 4.4. I have, and it's really hard to justify spending the time to fix all those things with a fairly big project. A full playthrough of the demo takes like 2 hours or so, and I'm finding some really weird stuff that only shows up in specific rooms that are like an hour into the game. At some point, I am just going to bite the bullet and say I have to redo all this stuff anyway for other reasons. Because we're going to reach a point where I'm going to want to rework a lot of the models, maybe redo some art, and I'm going to have to retest everything at some point anyway. And I think at that point, that's going to be a good way to do it. Yeah, I can. However, there's so many scenes. Oh, I can start it at whatever scene, but I wouldn't know that, like, oh yeah, the 30th scene in the game, that one, this particular building, for some reason, you fall through the floor. I haven't changed the mesh, but there's something screwy going on that only shows up when I upgrade to 4.4. I think it's probably going to turn out to be I've got a non-uniform scaled static body. That is my theory, but again, it's something that is really on the back burner. It's so easy to accidentally do that, too. Okay. I want more walls to test with here. Put one over here. That's fine. Let me just test this both directions. Yeah. If I were smart, what I would do is have a debug option that iterates through. Yeah, see, that's messed up. Oh, I know why it's messed up. That iterates through all of the nodes in a scene and checks to see if they are a static body's collision shape. And if so, look for a non-uniform scale. And if there is one, just flash big red error messages. Al, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. It's not even in Stars Hollow. Hi, Theron. Welcome. Good news, Al. We're making Leon better. He's going to be okay. It became a horror game. Yay! I love randomly horror game. There's guys chasing me now. This is his first time here. I need direction. This is the ternary stuff I hate. One if player actor dot is facing right, else negative 1.0. This is such an ugly format for ternaries. How can they get away with that? The nerve. It really, is that something they took from Python? I've been out of the Python game for like a decade now, so I wouldn't even know. I know that GDScript is mostly Python. There we go. Okay. We're properly checking the directions now, and we're checking the camera angle. So that is like a huge step up from where we were. So this is just to make it so that you bonk walls. That's a Python 2 thing. I wish they at least did some syntactical sugar or something. A little syntactical snacktical. Sounds good, Al. There he goes, doing the... Leon, are you okay? Are you okay, Leon? Yeah, he's supposed to do that. It's fine. All right, cool. So we block on walls. Now we get an actual tongue termination ratio. We have a tongue target somewhere, tongue target, which might be null, and that's okay if it is. Okay. What's the juice? What kind of juice do we want to put on this? So the Yoshi's Island thing not Yoshi's Island, the Yoshi in Mario Galaxy 2 thing that I've been mentioning is what we're kind of using as our inspiration for how we're tweaking this. The old method is fine, this little hookshot style, but tongue needs to come out faster. Thanks for hanging out, Bear. Good talking with you. I like talking programming with people. I'm a bit of a nerd that way. Let's increase the speed of that tongue extend. Let's say double it. Double it seems like a bit much. Oh, and because that's a variable on the class level, we need to tweak it a bit. All right, let's try that. See how that feels pretty good. And I think we can retract faster too. Really, really snappy. Really snappy. Give it to the next partner, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have a different route for if you basically hit a tongue target. Now, how do you know if you hit a tongue target? Well, because you're gonna have tongue target and tongue termination ratio needs to be greater than a certain amount. So once you hit max time, well, shoot, hang on. Max distance could be where you hit a solid. It could be where you hit a solid, but we're gonna have an alternate. Okay, so first off, we're gonna check where we would hit a solid in this direction. Check where we would hit the target. And so this is, again, if tongue target is not null, then let's see how far away the tongue target is. We already have that, but we used it for the angle, right? Okay, let's retool that a little bit. We would hit the target and set the angle. So tongue termination ratio here would equal target difference vector. I guess. Target difference vector. No, don't like that. Don't like that. Max point is... This is for straight. This is only for straight. Right here. This stuff, this max point here. So if tongue target is not null, then we have a new max point, which is just the location of that. Just the location of the target. That does mean that if you are close to the target, it would slow down significantly, wouldn't it? Now that is a tricky one. You shouldn't be close to it. If we play our cards right, you'll never be close to it. Let's hope for that. Okay. Left side to the right in the Spectre. I downloaded an add-on that was, and I don't love it, honestly. What is it called? It is, Script IDE. This one right here with the stuff. I barely use it. I kind of want to. Now that you bring it up, I'm like, why do I keep that? I never even look at it. I think the reason I got it in the first place is I wanted the back button for previous document. The behavior of it was really weird coming from VS Code and Visual Studio. And so I had heard someone mention, oh yeah, Script IDE makes it a little bit more like that. And it doesn't really feel like it does great on that. And it's just eating up space. Get rid of it. What am I doing? Take it off the add-ons. No, get out of here. Don't want you anymore. Oh, but then you don't get the tabs. That's fine. The tabs are okay. But they're not super useful. I've had that on so long, it's just visual, it's just blanked out in my eyes. Haven't even been paying attention to it. I never got any use out of it. It's not a bad plugin, just not something that really helped me. Okay, so what are we looking for? We're looking for did you hit the target? So you're gonna go towards the ratio. And if, once you hit this point, if tongue termination ratio is greater than like 95%, then we're pretty much on target with we hit the thing. We actually hit it. That's tweakable as well. Are you gonna pause when you get there? I think we should pause still. And now is where we split. Let's say 90%. Okay. So in one route, we are going to this is going to be a new thing of fly towards the target. And this is eventually going to have to be split up even further. Because we're going to have like 3 different types of things you could hit. But the main one is one of these anchor points that you can basically grappling hook towards. And what's that going to look like? Well, I want the tongue animation to just zip back extremely fast. For one thing. Ice cream sandwich, like a big one or like one of the little mini ones? Because we occasionally get these little mini ones for little Toadette. She loves them. Tongue retract time is currently 0.2, so this is normally a 5. So let's say it zips back in just a fraction of the time. With the cookie, like the cookie on top and bottom? Or wait, is it like, are we talking like chocolate chip cookies or like ice cream sandwich, like black cookie rectangle? I like 2 chocolate chip cookies. That does sound pretty good. Maybe too sweet for my taste. I always liked the thin chocolate shell ice cream things. I don't remember if there was like a specific name for those. They were a common one from ice cream trucks. Velcro Beans, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. How was your stream? What were you working on? Tell me about it. I'm still thinking back to that raid I did yesterday. This is a pretty low energy, pretty chill stream, guys. And yesterday I wound up in a very high energy stream and whoa, I was not ready for it. And I was just thinking like, what kind of zany stuff could I do to really bring up the energy in here? Like, whoa, welcome. Wait, hang on. It would be like, whoa, welcome everybody to the Dob Zone. I can't do that. I can only do that satirically. The person I raided into was very nice. She came recommended from another chill game dev streamer. But we got there and it was just absolutely insane and I was not prepared. The Dob Zone. Okay, so it was a VTuber streamer, which that's fine. I hang out with a bunch of Pib Party. I hang out with some VTuber peoples. But it was just intense, like wacky, zany shenanigans of like, oh, now we switch to this scene where my avatar gets fired out of a cannon. A bike redeem. We're not bringing back the bike redeem for a long time. You guys couldn't use the exercise bike redeem responsibly. Anyway, Velcro, thank you for the raid. What kind of, let's see, working on buildings and NPCs in town. RPG or something along those lines? It in the attack. In the attic. Okay. Got it. In the attack. Wait, I edited the wrong thing here. It's this one I wanted to edit. retract quickly, and change to a new state of flying. Sure. And I don't know how we're going to manage this, but we'll figure it out. It's very heavy, and yeah, it's very broken. No, I didn't tell you guys the weirdest bit about that raid, and I don't want to. Maybe I shouldn't mention it because I don't know. I don't want it to sound like I'm putting down their gimmicks. Well, it wasn't my cup of tea. Okay, RPG, yeah. Roguelike elements, multiplayer elements, town building elements. There's something really nice about town building stuff in RPGs. Like, not full-on colony management, because that's its own fun thing. But yeah, I liked it. There was definitely not a full-on RPG, but Backpack Hero was free on Epic a few months ago, and I played through that. And that had some town building stuff that ultimately was very lightly done. Like, it was a very gentle town building thing. I feel like they could have done more with it, but it was fine. A farming sim with automation. I do love automation. Gosh, I love automation. No, but we're working on an RPG here in the style of the early Paper Mario games, like Thousand Year Door, which is my favorite Paper Mario game. We're working on one of the partner field moves, which is going to be very silly. Oh, yeah. I don't even know, do we have a decent... Could I even load up a save here? Let's find out. Let's see here. This one's probably fine. Where does this take us? Oh, this is a terrible one to choose. But yeah, we do have the classic flip style animation. A wacky world of fun little characters. Oh, that's closed because, yeah, I'm locked in a weird spot here. Are the enemies all dead? No, they're not. Okay. There's combat. Action commands. The works. Smack him. Mess him up. I missed the action command. We should add a nice for when you land an action command well. So it wears its inspiration on its sleeve, as they say. I missed it again. I keep jumping the gun. So there you go. That's the game. I am planning to add a mode that introduces some roguelike elements. But it's going to be a whole thing to get working. Thousand Year Door had a section of the game called the Pit of 100 Trials. And it was very fun. It was a very fun little challenge. But we can add some little twist to that to make for an interesting little experience. That's the plan. I'm kind of pinned in here. No, really. Never try to do the interpolations when it's flipping the character go. Oh, just accidentally. Nothing wrong with that. Paper Mario Flip is fun. Everybody loves it. There we go. Oh, you guys are fine. Thought about keeping it. I wonder if I should give those guys like a palette swap or like an accessory, so that you know they're not enemies, they're just NPCs. We got fun little adventure zones here, and like people to talk to. It's Frogtown. Good old Frogtown. And then my favorite joke in the game. That's it. So that's my really dumb joke. All right, I'm gonna save. All right, back to it. All right. So main thing is this is gonna be vaguely a hook shot, but with some auto targeting. Get out of here. So we can do this. Yep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's locked. He's locked up. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Oh, he's seriously screwed now. Thank you also for the follow. That follow, also anonymous. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Only do the flying thing if not only the tongue termination ratio hits the appropriate mount, but also we actually have a target to hit. So I want this code to handle both cases of where you're just wildly firing the tongue out. Beans crew, beans crew. Thank you also for the follow. All these follows are so anonymous. Geez, we're creeping up on the next 100 milestone. That's weird. All right. There we go. That'll fix that. Tongue target does not equal null. We have an actual target to aim for. Then do this, where we go into flying mode. What is flying mode? I don't know yet. I mean, it's gonna do a thing. The characters will like do a backflip or something. So normal is just zoop, zoop, and we're done. Or if you hit a wall, burp, burp. Done. But if you have a target to hit, then you can, and then yeah, he's stuck and it's fine. Wait, that should count. Why is that not counting as see, that time it did. It didn't the first time. Why not? I know why. Do I know why? Because the tongue termination ratio is too low, which should be based on... Oh, it gets overwritten. It gets overwritten? No, that's not it. That's not it. Tongue max point. The 4.0 right here. Boom. This right here. This should be tongue max length equals tongue max point dot distance to tongue start point, and then take that length and stuff it right there. Okay. Now he should pause and freeze up. Well, first, regular works. He should freeze up when he hits this pole. Good. Okay. It recognized that, yep, we're stuck. We're stuck. We can't move right now. So now it should and then launch you somehow very quickly. Like, it should be a pretty quick animation. I guess we'll do a tween. What if we do a linear tween horizontally, but it slows towards the end? And vertically, we do, well, not a linear tween. I guess that'd be a ease out tween or something. And then vertically, we do an ease in tween. And then it kind of makes a natural swoop under it. Maybe? All right. Well, let's pick our flying location then. So if you have a tongue target, then there is going to be a there's got to be a max point. Tongue target, good, yes. If tongue target not equal null. We need to calculate a position that's just beyond the tongue's target. Maybe a little bit higher. Angle is based on the camera angle and your facing. So if you are, so let's see here. What are we going to call that? Bar tongue, flying apex. I am coming up with some names here. The tongue flying apex. Naturally. What's the category here? Oh, I think I know I think I know the answer. Is this Slay the Spire? No, Pikmin 1. Oh. Oh. Oh dear. Well, never mind. I'm not quite sure anymore. I think it's a made-up word. But Dobbs, all words are made up. Shut up. I know that. It's been a while since I've done Pikmin 1. It had some silly stuff. Tongue flying apex is going to be the tongue's target position. Plus vector 3 glue on drive. Vector 3 times 3 units and also 2 units up and no units float, and then we have to rotate it by the camera rotation. So that's our flying apex. So if we are flying, then that's what we have to do. Let's add a time for that. Flying to apex time. That's going to take, let's start it with 1 second. It's going to be shorter than that. It's going to be very snappy when we do this for real. So flying. We're going to make some tweening happen. Oh, right. It bugged. It bugs if you guess all the letters and says, I don't think anybody actually got it. SNES games. Chrono Trigger. No. Secret of Mana. Okay. I guess we had the same idea there. Okay. Legend of Zelda. Ooh. Might not be of. There's a chance it's something different. That is a game. You're gonna have to guess a letter, Al. You gotta give in. Give in to your temptation. Okay, so the old code moved what? The partner? It is of. Or on. Okay, it's of. Oh! Okay. I see it. I get it. I know it. Ooh, yeah. Oh, small, you were a fraction of a second late. Okay. We're gonna tween the property. I'm starting to get wait. What's the... I'm starting to get the format a little bit better these days. Follow target is the player. Property, global position. Final value. Apex, tongue flying apex. Do it over the duration of flying to apex time. This is gonna be so silly. Halo, halo. It's good to see you, Small. Where is the secret cat? That is what everyone wants to know. And then if all this happens, then do this. Return to normal. Do these things. Got some repeating code that I need to fix. There we go, and there we go. Oh, that's not var, that's funk. What am I thinking? All right, let's see if that's... I mean, that's going to be a really silly zip, a linear zip, but it's fine. Leon. Wee. Okay, so that's very silly, but it works. Oh, exclamation mark, huh? Exclamation mark. That ain't Kirby. All right. Leon, you need to return to normal. You need to return to normal, buddy. Okay, that'll fix that. And also his he needs to close his mouth. So we play backwards, extend. Really, really fast. And we should do this really, really fast too. That's probably fine. Mario's early years, exclamation mark. Not to be confused with Baby Mario. This is Mario Baby. He's trying to follow, but he can't follow because he's already following. But don't worry about that. Yeah, don't confuse it with that one either. And Mario's Time Machine. There's a lot going on with Mario, as it turns out. Okay, this is not great. Tween dot. There's like a parallel. There we go. Parallel tween property. We're gonna try to do some. Oh wait, no, we can't do that. Follow target. Change global position. X can be linear. And Z. Oh man, I'm gonna create like 3 of these, aren't I? Okay, let's one line it. We're gonna be making a big mess here anyway. X, Z, and Y. Now then, how do we do the ease in, out stuff? Where's a good example? Set ease, set transition, put it at the end. Got it. So for, okay, there's like a really good Godot easing cheat sheet. Okay, what do I want? Do I want ease out? I want it to go fast and then slow. That is in fact, yeah, I want cubic ease out for, I think. Let's try this. What does this look like? We're gonna do different easing on X and Z versus Y. Whoa. Wait, what? Is that not a... Oh, you're absolutely right. I need X, Z, Y here. Part of me is like, oh, put that in a loop. No, don't put that in a loop. I mean, kind of. Why is he... That's really silly. Okay, when it ends, we should set our velocity to 0. Maybe. Unless we just did a big launch, in which case it should kind of pop us in the air a little bit. Actually, yeah. In that case, what if we did Y linearly? How does that look? Because it should still give us like a little sweep. That's not quite it. Or is it? Oh, the follow... Okay, hang on. The camera in this little test room... Never mind. Oh, the camera's not following because I'm not on the ground. And the camera rules state that you can only camera when on the ground. That's in the player logic, isn't it? Camera focus. Yep, here, right here. How can I tell it that it's okay? How can I let it know that it's gonna be all right? Gooper blooper. Goopa. Bloopa. Because it counts it as a jump right now is the problem. A bloopa. So I want the camera to follow the player here. So perhaps the player can have some kind of, I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. That is a tough one. We need to flip on a special camera state and then turn it back off. Which is not out of the question. Camera, Y-lock. Camera Y-lock to ground is the default state. How about that? And then the camera focus says, if you're on the floor, you can do it, or if we're not locked to the ground, then we can do it. Okay, and now in the Leon code, when we start these shenanigans of flying, do not lock to the ground. And then when we're done, lock to the ground again. Okay, that should at least improve the Y tracking in the camera. Okay, it's a little bit... Also, he gets stuck the first time. I like that it swoops up, but it swoops so slowly at the end. It's too slow. Let's look at this easing chart again. Something a little bit less slow at the end. Quad. Quad. Maybe even circ. Let's just try some different things here. Oh wait, this is cube. The only one we're doing is this one, right? Because linear is just brrr, but meanwhile we're mapping that against cubic with, oh gosh, it's a 2 parameter function here. This is okay, so cubic is go fast to the side and then slow down to a stop. So it's gonna do that. And I want this to, I don't know, vertically, I want it to go slow and then fast-ish. So that would be cubic ease in. Didn't we already try that? And then I was like, no, I can do better than this. What animation? Don't know what you're talking about. See, that just really flings him up gently, I suppose. I want it to go a little bit slower, maybe. Can only see it if you're looking. Do we go circ? Okay, I gotta think about ease in, ease out, because this only really applies if the other one is linear. If you try and combine these, you're gonna get weird stuff happening. So, Yeah, linear on Y is fine, I think. And that's the default. Maybe if we just manage to give it, pop a little velocity at the end, then we'll be all set. Let's try that. Circlerp or clerp. Okay, instead of the cubic, let's try... Let's try circ. Let's try circ. Does that still exist? It really fires off at the beginning. Like, boom, off like a shot. And that's too much. Let's go quad. That looks like a softer function for us. Kind of. It's okay. Are we going too high? Maybe. It's a little silly. It's a little bit silly. Maybe there's another function right after this. Like instead of just going from flying to nothing, we have like a pause in the air. We were talking about a backflip animation at some point. Leon needs to do this too. For actor in self, comma, follow target. Make Leon do this too. Oh, but then he just kind of plummets because his velocity is increasing the whole time. So that needs to be fixed as well. Maybe if I give him a little rotation, maybe that would be fun. In the same way that Leon's rotation Z gets fixed. Aggregate rotation Z, go to 360. Oh wait, it's actor.sprites, isn't it? It is. So I gotta do sprites.rotation.z. Is that gonna work? Let's find out. Do a flip. You didn't do a flip. But it didn't crash either, so I guess that's something. Actor.sprites. That's it. That would you can't double nest. I assume is. Whoa. Okay. Why like that? Why I'll oh. Right. Because Radiance. LJ, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. How was your stream? What were you up to? Okay, that's very silly looking. But it is kind of what I wanted. But the excessive the anchor point of that loop is very dumb. Give me a triple backflip. Give me a triple backflip. We're working on a Paper Mario-like here. Oh, that's very silly. Oh, gosh. Yeah. It's weird. Even if you've got a lot of experience writing software, shaders are just so... It's really just a different thing that has a whole different skill set. We're working on a Paper Mario-style game. Tonight I'm working on some of the field moves for some of the partners. Okay, that's very silly. Let's do a transition for that. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. This project has been in the works for about... Oh yeah, that looks good. Whee! Whee! I need Leon and Dabble to not be completely occupying the same space, though. They need to be a little bit side of each other. Now, this project's been going on for about 1.5 years now. Well, less than 1.5 years, but more than 1 year. We have Chapter 1 complete out of a 8-chapter game. And actually, we have a full demo that you can play the entire first chapter for free. It's on Steam and everything. I went out and got a Steam page. It was a lot of work. I think it does look fun, Mr. Mike. I think with a good sound effect, this can work. Boing. That's silly. It's silly and fun. I may give you like a slight pause in the air so that you can chain it easier. Also, we need to be able to do this in the air. That's its own thing. Okay. At the end of this, AVX plus equals vector 3 dot back times 0.3 just to buy us some space. Dot rotated. Using the camera rotation, which is camera handler.get target rotation. And I accidentally pasted an extra period there. Okay, that may work for that. Let's give this a go. Change it from back to front, I guess, or forward. There we go. And I think he could be pushed a little bit further in the direction we're moving. Also, why didn't Dabble rotate there? It was weird. Boing, boing. Boing, boing. Woo, woo. I want it to be so that you can chain them a little bit, because I think that would be interesting to like have to like react a little bit for some traversal. We can have some little optional challenges. But in order to do that, we need to actually make it so that the player code allows for using partner abilities in the air. So let's see, partner actor. Use partner ability in partner actor. So we have partner actor as a thing. So we're gonna have our partner base is going to have a can use ability in air. Defaults to false. But Leon, good old Leon, is going to override that to true. And then our player code is going to specify that either you have to be standing on the floor or says or, immediately types and, or partner actor and can use ability in air, in partner actor, and partner actor dot can use ability in air. Yeah, that sounds right. That looks right. Okay, let's see if we can trigger it. It's not going to work properly, but yes, we can trigger it. So then the idea is, with that in place, let's change his ability slightly so that you stop falling in midair while he is opening his mouth, because that is an important part of it. If you are currently opening your mouth, then actor dot velocity equals vector3.0. And also, while tongue is extending, do that. Okay. Now this is going to be interesting because this allows you to sort of freeze in midair for a split second now. That's very cool. Oh my gosh, it's doable. It's doable. Oh, and then, but you have to be, it has to be above you slightly. Oh, that's very silly that can be done. Okay, and now for the actual thing that we want. The actual, this would be a cool thing if it existed. Something like this, right? You see the vision. Oh. Oh yeah, you gotta be on the spot there. Oh, it's like the moment I turn around, I'm out of range. There we go. Come on. Yes! We did it. That's really neat. That's really neat. You can chain it. Now combine that with a camera target zone that when you're in it, it locks the camera to whatever, to, I don't know, the wall back here, I guess. And also offsets it back like negative 10 units so you can actually see something here. With a nice locked camera. Oops. That's supposed to be just regular Z10. Yeah, Z positive is towards the camera, not in the direction the camera is facing. Then you get like this little system. Why does he sometimes spin and sometimes not spin? That's not bad. That's not bad. See, this could be its own little mini game even. Like a completely optional field movement themed mini game in some kind of parlor. Kind of one of the Pianta parlor mini games. Then I'm dead. That's really silly. I love that. Now, sometimes he just doesn't flip, which is weird to me still. Huh. Okay. It works. Believe it or not, it works. Okay, now let's think about distance here. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. There's about 4.5 tiles to this point, and it does link up. And you land how far? About 3 tiles out. So that's our tongue flying apex is 3 units over. If we move that to 4 units, then we can now clear an 8 block gap with this move. That still looks so not quite right. Linearly, we're just going up. I will probably want to tweak the specifics of this. Also, the rotation is very bad. It's very silly. We can fix it, I think. There. Why didn't he do it? What happened to the tween? Yeah, more archy. Like, there's definitely a handful of, like, okay, this isn't quite right stuff going on with this, but it's certainly fun. Like, the animation is a little bit goofy with the big, yeah, weird but fun. It's pivoting on the actor base is of course wrong. We don't want that. How can we improve that? Speaking of improvement, let's fix this icon. Let's fix him. Display, view, not display grid. There we go. Give me the icons. Dabbletails. Icons. Dabbletails. Whew. Getting tired. Had a very tiring day. Where are the icons? Where are the icons? Combat menu icon. Here we go. Line him up. Line him up. Yeah, yeah. Turn on the 100 pixel grid. Yeah, we got a little bit of cutoff there. Dang. That's fine. We're gonna have to resize him a bit. He won't be exactly the same. He'll never be the same. Don't cut off his head. Off with his head. Okay. This is how we're gonna do it. We're not gonna actually bother with like a real clean export or anything. We're just gonna kind of eyeball it. It's a very tiny icon, you know. I like how this test snail icon here has mustard on it. I spilled some mustard on it while working on my digital art. These things happen. This is a real thing that can happen when you're doing art around mustard. A little bit of transparency here. Get this little chunk over here cleaned up. Oh, look at that. Terrible, terrible. All right, that'll work. He's saved. All right, good. He's been repaired. Okay, let's update our to-do list and then call it a night. All right, he does a flip. Controls do get disabled. We re-enable controls. We do allow turnaround in midair. It's silly, but it works. So the problems. Arc is weird. Yeah. Sometimes Dabble doesn't flip. Flip should not be anchored to 000 on the sprite, on the actors. It should pivot around their midsection, and it looks weird otherwise. Tongue still sometimes goes beyond target point. Why? And were we still seeing a case where immediately after a flip, Leon would not be able to immediately... No, that seems to be working now. There's this one case where... No. It seems like I can press it right before I hit the right spot. Nope, not that. And kind of land in it so that the icon appears. Well, that one was fine, apparently. There. Did that do it? Yeah, that. Where the animation was playing. I guess that's got to be frame perfect to get that kind of failure. These are the main ones. But like going past it is weird. And then, okay, so that's just for cleaning up what we built. Then we need to grab field items with tongue. What happens to enemies that get touched? In the existing code, you actually grab the enemies and pull them towards you, which that doesn't seem super helpful. It's like if you wanted to engage them in combat, you could just walk up to them. I'm not hiding the enemies from you. That's fine. Let's go. Let's go small. Good old small. Is Rotan already done for the night? I guess so. Was he on? It was, wasn't it? I think that was earlier. Okay. So yeah, Wednesday will be the next stream, if all goes according to plans. What do you do? Oh no! If this bitrate goes below 4K. Yeah, that went pretty well. Wednesday, I want to try and finish up Leon's field move upgrade. It's looking better. I'm still working on some stuff off stream when I can. Mostly getting the areas finalized. There's not a lot of areas left, and the ones that are left are mostly... Actually, this tree is in progress now, so I can make that one blue. Yay. I don't know if I need this at all. That's just like if we need more. If we need it to be bigger, then that's fine. This whole area is probably going to be one big room, and it's all down to I need the new field tech to be working so that we have some fun stuff we can do with it. This room's gonna get redone. This room's gonna get redone with the new Leon tech. Now that it's kind of figured out a little bit more. So we're making our way through it. It's mostly the dungeon and this area, and then a little bit of retooling, and this area's in progress, so it's fine. It's fine. Have a good night, everybody. See you next time.